Let me tell you something about Andrew Tate, because I think my dad or my mom or my sister, one of them, I was home for Christmas, and I was listening to I was watching some of the reactions to his fights, and some of these clips they played some of the stuff that he said from like his older videos. And one of my family pointed out to me like, "Oh, are you watching Andrew Tate? Are you one of those red pill guys?" And I thought that was a good question. Like, am I a red pill guy? No, not really. The answer, like, I had to really sit down with myself and think, what do I answer that question? Like, what's the real, how do I process that question? And this is the truest form, the purest answer that I can give. If I ever watch another man, like if I ever watch like one of those like gurus, like male gurus, like Andrew Tate, it's because I see him as competition, right? Like, I know I ain't shit compared to like how much money he's got. Most of us aren't shit compared to like however many supercars and shit. But I see him as competition. Like, that's the difference between me and the 99.99% of other guys watching him. Most of the other guys watching him, they're watching him and they're like taking on his teachings. They're like looking up to him like some god. And there's a big difference between, like, the irony is those guys looking up to him like he's some god, they're actually stuck in this paradox where you love this guy, but you're never gonna be what he is because you're looking up to him. Like, his whole teaching is be the top G. It's like be the man, be the warrior. But then you have a mentor, you have like a guru. So therefore, you're not the fucking man because you're looking up to another man. I fear no man. Like, I admire certain things that other men have done in certain areas of life, but I never walk into any room or watch any video and think, oh, I want to bow down to this guy and buy his course. He's better than, like, no, fucking no. I can respect that some other men are better than me right now in one specific area or another. Because I haven't focused on that specific area as much as they have. Like, let me take this to the absolute fucking extreme. I can respect that Ilia Topuria would beat me the fuck in MMA, right? Right now. Right now is really important to add. Because what that does, in only 2 words, it adds the nuance that I don't train MMA. I haven't trained MMA in my life. I only ever trained boxing. And it's really not good for your mindset to think, oh, certain people are just better than me mathematically, as it's an absolute law that they're always gonna beat me and like they're always gonna be better than me. Like, fuck that. Fuck that. I believe I have the potential to be the greatest at whatever the fuck I choose to do. I just haven't chosen to be an MMA fighter. Like, had I trained in MMA and had the right conditions from like a young age, the right trainers, or whatever, I believe the sky would have been the limit. Similarly, I believe if I'd focused on money my whole life, I would have been a lot more wealthy than I am, which I'm not. But that's exactly why, because I made my choices. And, person A can be wealthier than me right now. But right now, because should I decide to focus on getting that fucking bag, which I have, and I'm only just getting started, then I promise you, I'll give them good fucking competition. I'll overtake them if I decide. Everything is a matter of time and effort. Like, how much time and effort are you willing, or is it wise for you to put into this one specific thing in order to overtake this one specific person, right? So it's really important because I remember I was chilling with my best friend like 3 years ago or something, and I was dating this chick, this Polish chick, and to be honest, I was just trying to have a boys' night with my boy, and she just kind of came over, like invited herself and came over, and we were watching, I think, Jordan Peterson, like a podcast with Jordan Peterson back then, and she comes into the room. Says hi. My friend was like, bro, what the fuck, we're chilling. I was like, yeah, I know. I'm just gonna be a bitch for now. Cause like, this was a new thing that I was doing. Like, I was trying to fuck her. So I kind of like had to bite the bullet. But then I did fuck her that night. But we were still kind of watching the podcast though. Like, I wasn't giving her the attention. And so she comes in. My boy leaves. And she goes, oh, is this your idol? Is this your mentor? Is this who you look up to? It's amazing to me. Like, her female radar. Bro, females are something else, I'm telling you. Like, they have like a sixth, a seventh, and an eighth sense. Like, the level of how sensitive they are to energy, it's crazy. Like, it's hard to compete with that as a man, I will say that. So she walks into the room. She feels that I'm watching a guy who's dominant. Like, if you know Jordan Peterson, when he talks, he's kind of dominant. He's kind of like, he displays competence in the way that he talks. And we're just chilling and watching him. And she immediately spotted, her female hindbrain immediately spotted, oh, these two losers are watching this more successful male who seems to be speaking from a place of authority, of competence, and they're just kind of like listening to him, taking it all in. So she flat out asks me like, oh, is this your like idol, your mentor? And I go, I had the presence of mind in that moment to just go, nah, I just find him to be a guy who says some interesting things. Just good entertainment. Like, I immediately caught what she was trying to do. She was trying to put me in the frame of, oh, are you being a beta watching another alpha, like gawking at him? You never want to be put in that. And that's, I think, when I first realized this. That some females, but it's true though. Like, I don't blame her for saying that. It is true. When you're watching some guy and taking advice from him on like life and women and shit, it's like you're implicitly admitting that that guy's better than you because you're listening to this shit. It's like, oh, I better shut up and fucking listen. And there's nothing wrong, man, with having mentors. Like, in fact, it's the quickest way to success. But there's a very fine line between a mentor and a guru, right? So if I was trying to be a champion in MMA or in boxing, I would have to defy every single guy who's right now better than me. Like, even though they're a million miles better than me, I would have to think of myself as not their fanboy admirer, fucking gay little beta orbiter of these better men. I would have to be like, oh shit, that's the mountain that I have to climb. But I'm gunning for the same spot as them. I'm not gonna fucking look up to them, right? And that's where you have to be as a man. Like, eventually, I get it, in your teens and 20s, you kind of need a role model. You kind of tend to look up to older guys and guys who know what they're doing. But there has to be that defiance in you. There has to be that and this is like very good in dating as well. This is massive in dating. If you can embody this on a date or around a woman, it's a massive turn on. Even though it may be delusional. But listen, I don't think anything's ever delusional. I think if I was willing to be Like, look, I used to be trying to be an actor, right? I've put that on hold for the past year because I realized I was spreading myself too thin and I wasn't making enough money, and the economy is not getting easier, it's getting harder. And I'm also a fucking man, and like one day something might happen. Like somebody in my family might need me to provide for them or to take care of them or pay for some kind of medical expenses. And if I was just gonna like follow my dreams, be an artist and be broke, and my mom needed something from me, like something happened and she needed me to be there for her, like financially, and I couldn't afford it because I just decided to be like a gay little fucking fanboy and follow my passion, I would never fucking forgive myself. Like, I do have an artist in me that if I was loaded, if I was like a trust fund kid and money was no matter throughout my life, I would absolutely be doing all the fucking back alley theater shows hoping to get noticed and not giving a fuck if I don't, because I was already a trust fund baby, right? Like if money was no issue, if I didn't have to be strategic about that side of life, I would absolutely put every minute of my day into arts, right? But you know, I had to have a honest conversation with myself. Arts is very high up there for me, but I think power and agency has to come first because of what I said. Like, there will come a point where you have to be there for people that you care about, and your dreams and fucking starry-eyed little bitch boy inside of you who thought you're gonna make it in LA, that guy's not gonna get your mom like a 100K surgery in Switzerland if she ever needs it, right? Let's be honest. I mean, if you make it big time, you might, but you have to make it real big time. And like, it's a luck thing as well. It's like an odds thing as well. So you could be like the greatest and just not have the luck to be in the right place at the right time, to be noticed by the right people. So I know I've diverged with this, but I think the main point here was I never think that anyone's fundamentally, like, innately better than me in anything. I can accept that I've strategically, like, I went sparring today. That was shit. Like, I sparred a guy who's like, technically speaking, and just on paper, he's worse than me, but my cardio is just shit. Because why? Because I've been trying to bulk. Because why? Because I decided that the best ROI you're gonna get is by having bigger muscles. Simple as that. It's just strategic. Like, I'm just making the optimal trade-offs in my life. Because we are working with limited resources. We're working with limited time, limited energy, and that becomes ever more apparent as you get older, especially the energy part, but the time part as well, definitely. Like, that hits hard. I want to cry, but it's okay. But, and the money as well. You have limited money. You have limited everything. So you can do anything, but you can't do everything. But because I can't do everything, if I see a guy who's better at something than me, I never fundamentally like bow down to him and like, oh my God, he's so cool. No. He allocated all of his time. He put all his eggs in this one basket. And I spread myself in multiple baskets, and that they're both valid strategies. What I will do is, like, if I know a guy's better than me at sparring, at like MMA, I'm just gonna strategically try and avoid him, or like I'll try and convince him to do a boxing match. Like, I'll be strategic in picking my battles and putting myself. I'm not gonna be putting myself in positions where I'm at a disadvantage. I'll look at my skill set, look at what I've invested in, which areas I've grown in, and I'll try and put myself in the best position for those areas to shine through. But I'll never like look up to a guy who's like a pro boxer who's not done anything else in his life since he was 14. I'll never be like, oh, that guy's better than me. He's better at me at the one thing that he's always doing. He's better at me than me at the thing that he does 9 hours a day, and I do 2 hours a week. It's an allocation problem. He's not fundamentally, innately better than me. And that's my thing with Andrew Tate. It's like, when you look up to these guys, you're innately saying, he's better than me. He's the God I worship. I worship no one. I worship myself. I'm the God. And that's the arrogance and the defiance that has to come through when you're talking to some woman. Because that's what's going to get her hooked.